Site Dan Riskin. The time has here for the first asteroid that has the potential to plunge our society into unheard-of chaos, and it is approaching for the first time. Apus is an asteroid that might truly give us a really awful day. NASA needs to spend a lot of time preparing for an asteroid strike. It wasn't obvious how serious the threat from Australia was until recently, but a new research indicates that it will strike Earth. How much havoc will this asteroid actually cause, and most importantly, where will it strike? Dan Riskin, a Canadian expert, believes that AUS will strike the planet soon. Where will we go after day X? Will the Earth truly plunge into chaos and undergo a drastic change following APO's definitive impact? Riskin is an evolutionary biologist and a highly sought-after author. We have been aware of this 370M asteroid since 2004, because previous simulations indicated a tiny but actual chance of a collision in 2012. APUS was initially categorized as a major threat. This warning sparked intense scientific inquiry and aroused anxiety around the world. Even though the asteroid is enormous enough to deal us a serious blow on a cosmic scale, it is only a little speck of dust that we must somehow scan and analyze. Scientists have painstakingly examined every bit of information that is available about the asteroid, but this is a challenging task. Asteroids only reflect light from the sun, planets, and moons when they fly at specific angles to these light sources. They don't emit light themselves. The asteroid appears to have its sights set on Earth in 2029, when it will fly so close to us that it will pass under our satellites. Scientists have confirmed that AUS will pass Earth this time without hitting it, but it is too early for relief. NASA gave the all-clear after the initial warning that AUS could hit us as early as 2029, but an orbit correction shows that we could still escape this time. There is still a chance that Earth's gravity will alter the asteroid's orbit during the approach, making subsequent approaches questionable, particularly in 2036. If Australia were to alter its orbit, we would have less than 7 years to get ready for the crash. Reputable evolutionary scientist Dan Riskin cautions that these uncertainties need to be addressed seriously. Earth will survive the repeated strikes of asteroids and comets, which are a natural part of the planet's cosmic life, but our society is in danger. We've spent a lot of time studying asteroids, but will we ever be truly ready for the initial impact and amazing devastation? If AUS is headed for a collision, we need to take action before the asteroid strikes. We would have to attempt to push the asteroid out of its orbit so that it flies past, but it is still unclear if this will be successful. In the long run, APUS could also cause drastic changes in the global climate. Dan Riskin has created a scenario that illustrates how a strike in our world today would be catastrophic for the entire world, with the result that the planet will enter a new era of instability and transformation. According to the most recent NASA study, the world's top experts are researching this significant asteroid, and NASA is getting ready. NASA's most recent asteroid defense research examines simulations and speculative scenarios while evaluating the possible hazards posed by near-Earth asteroids. The findings highlight the importance and difficulties of planetary defense. Although this study is the first attempt to address the mounting worries regarding the AP asteroid, further work has to be done. The head of NASA's Planetary Defense Office, Lindy Johnson, stressed the importance of gathering as much data as possible regarding the size and orbit of asteroids in order to prevent real-world issues brought on by uncertainty. As part of a comprehensive hypothetical exercise, the analysis and exercises unequivocally demonstrate that there are still major gaps in international preparedness for such prospective calamities. We do not yet know how a defense should be practically financed. NASA simulated an asteroid that was initially undetected due to its orbit around the Sun and is on a collision course with Earth. This fictitious asteroid was large enough to cause significant regional damage in the event of an impact. The simulation revealed gaps in the global community. Nations that are currently at war or in dispute with one another would have to cooperate with the rest of the world and hostile camps on this one point. The international community must remain united this year as well, because we may need to deploy many probes to remove Australia from its fatal orbit. If all of the attempts fail, we would still need enough resources to prepare the world and its citizens for the fallout. Despite a hypothetical warning time of 14 years, the NASA exercise's alarming results demonstrated that humanity is currently prepared to prevent such a disaster. If we wish to save our planet, we must act quickly. What is certain is that Australia won't be the only asteroid to threaten us. There will be others. In the worst-case scenario, one of these chunks could appear suddenly, and the impact would be inevitable. We don't actually see AUS, but our modern telescopes can detect asteroids, using the best technologies. However, we don't have a clear picture of the asteroid officially known as 942 APUs. This asteroid is still a big mystery, and as Lindy Johnson emphasized, we need more information. Is it scary that a 370M chunk flying around out there will cross the Earth's orbit several times over the next 100 years? In order to properly remove AUS from the collision orbit, we must learn more about the precise makeup of the asteroid. NASA is already the route. The OSIRIS probe is already en route to AUS and will return to Earth in a few months with vital samples from the asteroid surface. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is most likely the source of density and weight APUs. This pool of billions of rocks from the early solar system can send asteroids in our direction at any time. Researchers have discovered that Jupiter might have a gravitational pull on the asteroid belt in a few decades, which might cause dozens of asteroids to suddenly travel toward the direction of the Sun. These forecasts remarkably highlight the urgency with which we must get ready. The asteroid is currently traveling in an elliptical orbit around the Sun, which regularly brings it close to the Earth. The most critical approach is scheduled for April 13, 2029. During this approach, the asteroid will pass about 31,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface, which is about a tenth of the distance to the Moon. If AUS hits this keyhole, the likelihood of an impact in 2036 is 75%. Depending on the impact location, whether it is on land and water or in a densely or sparsely populated area, the impact could have devastating effects. In the following, we examine the various scenarios of an APU's impact and their effects on the Earth. If AUS hits the ocean, which is likely due to the Earth's large water surface, the immediate impact would be enormous, vaporizing a huge amount of water and causing a massive tsunami. Towns and villages along the coastlines would be in danger, and infrastructure would be badly destroyed. Just think of all the industrial facilities and ports that would be affected. This tsunami might reach wave heights of several hundred meters and flood coastal areas within a radius of several thousand kilometers. In addition to destroying villas and vacation spots right on the coast, the impact would release a lot of water vapor and other particles into the atmosphere, causing the Earth to go through dark periods and diminished climate shifts. In an emergency, an impact on land would result in a massive explosion equivalent to the detonation of several nuclear bombs. This is because the evaporation of water and the release of aerosols could cool the global climate similar to a volcanic winter, causing crop failures for years and putting the world's food supply at risk. For this reason, we need both space probes and alternative agricultural concepts that can continue to function independently of external conditions. The pressure wave created by the energy released will leave a massive crater that is several kilometers wide. In a sparsely inhabited area, such a desert or the Arctic, the impact's heat would destroy everything within a few kilometers, including people, animals, forests, and buildings. The immediate human losses would be minimal, but the environmental effects might be severe. Worldwide influence. Since our Earth is a delicate ecology, the consequences would most likely permanently alter the course of the world and our climate. The most catastrophic situation in a city like New York would be an impact in a densely populated area. Mumbai or Tokyo, millions of people would perish in an impact, and a whole city would be destroyed, with all of its infrastructure, including its communication, water, and electrical systems, collapsing. The surviving would experience a humanitarian crisis, and the economic harm would be incalculable. Survivors would have to cope with the repercussions of fires, which would have disastrous long-term ramifications. Hazardous gases and potential. Exposure to radiation pollutant emissions into the atmosphere have the potential to improve global air quality and have positive health effects. Everywhere. A brief prediction for 2029 said that a massive tsunami will devastate cities including Los Angeles, Seattle, and San Francisco off the west coast of the United States. In addition, if the asteroid strikes Europe, it might set off a chain reaction in such a delicate site that, for instance, the San Andreas asphalt in California will rupture. This could cause the Italian volcanoes to explode. An efficient early warning system allows us to take action before an impact occurs. But as NASA demonstrated in its most recent study, there will still be significant planning needed to evacuate millions or billions of people from areas that are at risk and build protective infrastructure. To be included in every new video, subscribe to the channel now.